happening? This is Sam, the Frugal Hooga Gardener. Today I'm going to go ahead and build a worm composting bin, a worm shelter, and a worm casting bin, all in one, plus a bin that could be in the house and you could take it and set it in your garden. In my case, I'm going to leave about 2 in the house, and I'm going to put 4 of them outside, 1 in each one of my raised beds. And this is how it's going to go. First off, you see a lot of people making them out of plastic. That's okay, but I'm not going to do it this way. Although I'm going to use that as the base so the castings could fall into it, I'm the Frugal Hooga Gardener, and I want to show you how you can make your bins for free or nearly free. So this is what you need to do. Besides the screws that you have to buy or you have them laying around, and the tools, you could do it for free. And this is how I'm going to do it to show you. If you want, you could go buy yourself some 1-inch boards, but that's not frugal. It's going to cost you money. Now, I got boards laying around. I could do it like this. It'll look prettier, but I want to do it for free. So, ditch the board. So I got myself some square boards, which are going to be used for the sides to hold the boards together. So I'm going to utilize this. And I have myself some pallets. I'm making sure that the wood on the pallets are uniform and they're the width that I want. I'm making sure that the pallets that I'm going to cut these boards off of have 2x4s that are straight and they don't have the forklift gouges out of them, and the wood's in good shape. Okay, so far you kind of see what I'm going to do. Once I go ahead and cut those boards out, I'm going to utilize a Sawzall, and I'll show you how this goes. And the Sawzall is going to go in between the 2x4 and the top planks, and it's going to cut the nails. Now, if you ever tried to save pallet wood and you try to pry it up with a nail prier, crowbar, banging with a hammer, they all split and you won't do it. But if you use a Sawzall, it'll cut the nails off perfectly and you'll have some good boards. Besides the Sawzall, you're going to need a screwdriver. In my case, I'm using a battery-operated cordless. You're going to need a skill saw, battery-operated cordless. You can use power, some drill bits, and a tape ruler, and a couple different sizes of deck screws. You want to use deck screws because they won't rust by the moisture in the bins. Also, you're going to want to either have a tabletop saw or a radial arm saw. Now, you can get away by using the skill saw, but your cuts are going to be off a little bit, and the purpose of the bin is you want it square and flat. So when you set them on top of each other, there's going to be 3 high. You don't want gaps in between. So the way to do it is with a tabletop saw. Plus, when I take those 2x4s out, I can make sure they're all perfectly straight. And with a tabletop saw, every cut is plumb square. You could cut the 2x4 in half long ways, so you can make it a 3/4 by 3/4. You know how that goes. You could do a lot of things. You could just rip it square. So I like the tabletop saw. So with that said, let's get started. Okay, that sun is bright, so I can't see. So I'm going to tilt my head down. Okay, right over here, I got the pallets, and I want to cut off the top boards. It's time consuming. So I just want to show you how I do one, then I'm going to do them all. Okay, I separated that one. Those two. Okay, so these boards are wide. This blade's a little too short, so I'm going to get my longer metal blade. I'll be back at you. Okay, so I'm back with some blades. Now I'm going to be using this longer blade because it's longer than the width of the board. This is a metal blade. Here's the metal blade. It's bigger and thicker, but it's also wider. So I want the thinner one. And this is the one that's on there. You see the difference in the sizes and the thicknesses. I'm going to use the longer one and the narrow one so it gets in between the board and stretches and gets all of the nails. Okay, so I'm not going to teach you how to use the tools. I'm just going to show you how I'm doing it. And I'm doing everything on the fly. This is going to be my prototype, and I'm going to build 6 of them. But I got it in my head what I want to do. I got all the materials. The only thing I don't have is the screening, the mesh that's going to go on the bottom. But I'm going to get that later. Okay, so with this longer blade, you can see it goes through the board. And now I can cut that back one. There you go. You can see that this now goes all the way through. The one that I had did not make it. So, if you want free wood, look for pallets with a wide board. A lot of them has narrower, and a lot of them have thicker and thinner sizes. I have pallets over there that are thicker wood, but they're not the same width. This is 5.5 inches, and they're different thicknesses. So this is more uniform. Now this square board here, this is going to get nailed to this, screwed into this, and screwed in that way. So the board does not have to be thick. Some people make them out of 2x4s, but that makes a really heavy bin. I'm going to use a light bin because I'm going to be moving these, and I want it as light as can be. Remember, the castings weigh a lot, and the compost on the inside weighs a lot, so try to make this as light as you could. So what I'm going to do now on these boards is I'm going to cut all of them off, then I'm going to cut them, and I'll show you that. And after I cut them, I'm going to take out my torch, and I'm going to burn these. That way, they last longer, and the water won't penetrate them. They'll be protected. You can look up online burning boards, even if you do a log house like that and you burn it, or you do siding on a house and you burn it. It's fireproof and it'll last forever. So with that said, let me go ahead and cut the rest of these off, and I'll get back to you. Okay, I went ahead and cut off most of the planks. They're the same thickness, but some of them have rougher edges, so I'll straighten that up on my tabletop. I went ahead and got all the 2x4s off, and as you can see, they're different lengths, so I'll have to adjust accordingly. And so now, how do you determine what size you want your worm bin? Well, that's a good question, because it could be any size. However, since I want my worm bin to set on a bin, so all the castings go down into a bin and not on the floor. And I want to be able to remove the bin and take it outside and put it in my raised beds. So, do you use a deep bin, a shallow bin, a light bin where the light could go through, or a dark bin? Well, worms don't like light, so if you put a light on top, they go to the bottom. If you put a light on the bottom, they go up top, or they'll stay in between. So actually that's pretty good. If I utilize this for the bottom, there'll be light down here, so the castings will go in, and the worms won't go in the castings. They'll stay up above because the natural light will send them up. So I favor the clear bin. Now this is a hefty. They come in different sizes, and if it breaks, you could go buy another one because they're always around. Now if you use this one from Home Depot, they're all the same. You could get the same size forever because they're readily available. So you could use what you want. Now this bin will fit in this bin like this right here on top. So if I want my bin to be this size of that, I could always then take it and set it on the black one and the clear one if I so choose. So I'm going to make my bins this size. Okay, so I've been at it a half a day. It's a little after 12. I'm going inside to wash up and have lunch. I'm hungry. I don't want to kill myself. So this is where I'm at. I went ahead and did my prototype. This is the bin. There's going to be 3 of these high. This is the bottom that sits on the plastic. There's going to be a screen on this too. So those set on top of each other like that. Then I'm going to do another one and another one. So there's going to be 3 high. Each one will have a screen bottom. The worms up here, the castings will go below, and you switch them out. You know the routine. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and clean all this up. Okay, hey everybody, I'm out here first thing in the morning again. I went ahead and did my bottom, which is going to have a screen on it. I did the first one, which is going to have a screen on it. Second level, it's going to have a screen. Third level. Okay, so I did a top. It's going to have wood on it. So these are my 3 levels. It has a bottom and it has a top. Okay, so just a quick note about the wood. I could have went to the store and bought square and level wood for this, but I went ahead and utilized pallets that I had laying around. Now on pallets, what you want to look for is you want to look for HT. That means it's heat treated and there's no chemicals on it. Don't use anything with chemicals. So if you look real close, it's going to have an HT for heat treated. Okay, so you could probably see it better on this. You see that HT right there? Anyway, look for HT. Now, you don't want to use pressure treated wood. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my torch and I'm going to flame them a little bit and further heat treat them. I'll be back. Okay, also what I did was I took a belt sander and I sanded this all the way around to make it nice and smooth. I went ahead and did the same thing to the top and the bottom. Also what I did was on my tabletop, I ran these all through and cut off the tops and the bottoms just a little bit to get each one uniform and exactly the same width. Okay, so I have my butane tank, I have my torch, so I'm going to go ahead and heat treat these a little bit. Okay, so see how quickly it went? And you can see they're charred a little bit on the inside and the outside. And this wood is hot right now. So anyway, that's drying the wood out a little bit. It's also, if there's any kind of bacteria or mold or insects, the heat probably killed it. And it's going to take the moisture a little better. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these. And I'm going to do the tops and the bottoms too. Okay, so you can see I did that. If you want, you can wipe it off a little bit. You can smell it's burnt a little bit. Now don't get worried, you don't have to do that if you don't have a torch. I'm just going the extra mile on this and showing you what can be done. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the bottoms on these. This is the top. I still got to finish. But as you can see, I have screen in here. This is galvanized rabbit screen, only because I had rabbit screen here. If I didn't have rabbit screen that was galvanized, I would have probably went with the plastic, because it's harder to cut, lay down, and get these sharp edges off. But I have the tools here to do it, so let me put these to the side. And this is the bottom one. So what I use is I use some snippers. I snipped, and then I went ahead and used stainless steel staples to staple the bottom down. However, right now, what I need to do is the top. Now on the top, I want boards. So let me get some boards and we'll do the top. And then basically I'm done. Okay, so I'm all done. Here's the plastic bin. That's gonna catch everything down below that falls through. The liquid and stuff like that, so it doesn't go on the floor. When it goes into my raised beds, I won't use that because I want everything to go through. But this fits on there perfect. Now I'm gonna put each one on. And I went ahead and did the top, just like that. That goes on like that. Okay, so here it is, 3 levels. I got the bin, I got the bottom, then I got level 1, 2, 3, and the top. So here's the top. And you notice I went ahead and put heat on this too. Okay, so I'm done with my worm bin, stackable, 3 levels. You've seen how I did in the video. My take on this is, if you want to do it for free, get yourself some pallets, take the time and separate all the wood and construct it like this. Remember, all edge of every board, you got to go ahead and square them up because they're not square. So to square it up, you put it on a table saw. That'll square them up. You just shave off the ends. Pre-drill your holes to screw it in, because if you screw it in without pre-drilling, you'll crack the wood. I went ahead and flamed the outside and the inside. You don't have to. All in all, it came out just the way I thought. It's going to hold worms. Worms are going to have babies. You know, they're going to do their thing. They're going to multiply. You're going to have worm castings. So it's going to serve its purpose. But if you want to do it picture perfect, go buy yourself some already flat, leveled, and square pieces of wood. It'll go a lot quicker. Hey, but you know, I gotta live up to my name, the frugal Hugo Gardener. So I want to do things on the cheap so I could bring it to you. And I'm not just doing it, I'm doing it because I'm going to utilize it. So in the upcoming days, you'll see me go ahead and shred the cardboard and put everything in it that's going to be in it to make some good bedding. And you'll see them multiply and me put them outside in the raised beds in the spring, and you know, it's just going to go on like that. Okay, so hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Sam, the Frugal Hugo Gardener. Give me a like, give me a share. Come on over to my Facebook page. Come on over to my Facebook group. We would love to have you. Until next time, see you soon.